Yes, indeed, folks, listen to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com with myself, Total Biscuit. Right, okay. Oh, God. I'll tell you, you might have noticed over the past 6 months or so that I've had a lot of issues with the back of my throat and my nose. Some weird stuff being going on with that. I'm actually going to get laser treatment for it, funnily enough. They're going to stick a laser up my nose and cut bits out of it. It'll be kind of crazy. But hey, at least I can say someone shot lasers up my nose. That's not something that everyone can say. That's a nice little bit of dinner party conversation, I feel. Whatever the case. So, right, let's talk a little bit about BlizzCon, shall we? So, BlizzCon has been announced as we expected it would, and it has been announced to be $150 For what exactly? So, I assume it's going to be, 3 days now? Because, of course, back in the day, it used to cost 100, and it was 2 days, so it's 150, we got a 50% increase in price, so it's 3 days, right? What do you mean it's not 3 days? What do you mean it's 2 days? What do you mean it's the same damn place? What do you mean there's going to be just as many exhibitions as there was last year? What do you mean you're charging more for no apparent reason? Well, yes, they are. I've been to BlizzCon. Some of you, no doubt, have been to BlizzCon as well. So let's talk a little bit about it and work out why exactly they think they can actually justify this. So, BlizzCon is a big deal for a couple of reasons. First reason, you get to play new Blizzard games. So, in this case it'll be Diablo 3, and maybe a little bit of Cataclysm if it's not in beta by that point. I mean, at the moment we're still in alpha. Beta opt-in is available, but I don't expect it to launch before BlizzCon as they promised, honestly. I'm still saying November. My money is still on November. So I will probably see it then. But yeah, I suppose you'll probably get a little bit of Cataclysm if you care about that. Maybe play the starting areas. Maybe do a little bit of raiding. A couple of dungeons maybe. But that's about it. I know they're probably going to announce their new title this year. I know they said they were going to do something. They were hiring for it. There's a lot of rumours surrounding it. They'll probably announce that, but I very much doubt it'll be playable in any real form. So, as regards to what you can play StarCraft, which you could already play because that's coming out in July. You can play Diablo 3. Okay, and you can play maybe a bit of Cataclysm and that's it. So, 2 games. Fair enough. What else? Well, we've got the panels. Except all the panel information and the videos for it are available elsewhere. I mean, the video coverage was terrible last year because they gave it to DirecTV, of course. Pah! They have no idea what they're doing. Indeed, we were restricted from it, and as a result, everything went to hell with that. A lot of people from WoW Radio are very annoyed by that. In fact, I would say that contributed to the demise of the group, honestly. It really killed our morale. I don't think we ever recovered from that. A lot of people didn't really want to concentrate on Blizzard games after Blizzard snubbed the hell out of us, and every other fan site, I might add. So I don't really blame them. So, there's the panels, which involve you sitting around and seeing some guy talk who's not very good at talking for an hour about a video game, maybe showing some slides and footage. Not exactly the most intriguing thing, is it? I mean, it's not like you're getting a sit-down Q&A with a bunch of celebrities here, like, say, you would at other conventions like DragonCon and even Star Trek conventions, where, the actual actors get up on stage and talk, and the writers and everything. That's kind of a big deal, but video game developers, honestly, and just one company, more importantly. And we're not talking about some of the really good stuff that you see at PAX and the GDC and the E3, where you get round tables of various developers actually having it out on a variety of really interesting issues. That's not what you're getting here. You're getting a controlled marketing piece from Blizzard over the course of an hour with some pretty awkward Spurgeon questions from people in the audience that, quite frankly, should not be out in public, let alone trying to speak in front of a room of people, stutter, stammer, and blare. God, please put the Cheetos down for a second, people. So you've got that, and you've got the thing, and what else you've got? You have a wide variety of people trying to sell you overpriced merchandise. Awesome. I have that. It's called the internet. They do that to me all the time. We have stores and shops and all that kind of thing. You know what? I don't have to pay for the privilege of being sold things, because that to me seems a little odd. Yes, indeed. And the last and perhaps the most vital thing, the most important, the most entertaining part of the whole experience, for me, I've been there once, was supposed to go twice, got deported as a terrorist, you know how it goes. Whatever the case. The biggest thing for me, when I went, was meeting people. And you know what? I can meet people anywhere at a way less expensive location. Bear in mind, we're talking about Anaheim here. Anaheim's like a nice end of that particular state, to my knowledge. I mean, it looked nice, it seemed to be, and the hotels around there are pretty damn expensive. So not only are you paying that, you're paying your flights and your travel costs to get there, and you're paying for your food, which invariably is expensive in that area, and you're also paying for your BlizzCon ticket and whatever merch. You're spending a huge amount of money on something which, let's be honest, is not a great convention. It isn't, I'm afraid. I would like to say that it is, but it's not. I don't have the desire to immerse myself that far in World of Warcraft that I need to go to BlizzCon. Honestly. I've been there once, and one time was enough. I saw what there was to see, and they are not really demonstrating to me that they're going to improve anything at all this time around. Still 2 days, still the same convention center, which probably means still the same exhibitions, the same panels that I could read about on MMO Champion with all of the fluff cut out. So why even bother? There's a lot of different conventions in the States, and the States are the place for them. It's not something that you really get outside of the States all that often. There's a couple in the UK, but there's not a convention culture. I mean, there is a real culture over in the States whereby you can have a convention for almost anything. Here's the thing. This is one of the most expensive conventions outside of actual business cons that you go to for real networking and lectures and seminars. For a consumer convention, this is bloody expensive. I mean, seriously. Look at the price for packs. You know? Any of them. Way, way cheaper. Dragon Con, way cheaper. Any of those other conventions, the geek-orientated stuff, Comic-Con, way cheaper. This is the most expensive convention surrounding this kind of thing that I could ever possibly think of. So, to me, it comes down to meeting up with people. Now, I can meet up with people wherever the hell I damn well please. When it comes to guildies, when it comes to people in-game, you'll run into WoW people every now and again. It's fairly easy to organise meetups that don't cost an absolute fortune. Now, I understand BlizzCon is sort of like the centrepiece. It's the social event of the season. Yeah, it's the anti-social event of the season. God, the smell. Oh. I like to say that BlizzCon shows to the entire world that WoW geeks are not, in fact, the stereotype. They're not all overweight, smelly, unhygienic, socially awkward bastards. But, generally speaking, that is not the case. They are. They really are. A huge chunk of people are, and... God, I felt like the most sophisticated, most socially adept person in the world when I went to BlizzCon 2005. I really did. Not everyone's like that, but there is a sizable chunk of people that you would not otherwise meet, and it ends up you feeling really, really bad for them, I suppose. It's not good. The concept of meeting up with guildies is a cool one, but it's so easy to do it. It really is. There's no other explanation for this other than Activision Blizzard want to get as many dollars out of people as possible. To me, the BlizzCon has got to be way, way better than this in order to justify it. You think about it. Think about the arrogance. Consider it for a second. One company has, it's a games company, incidentally, has an entire convention based around their games alone. We're not talking about some kind of collaboration. It's not like it's an active BlizzCon. You know what? If it was an active BlizzCon, I could probably go for that. I mean, Activision do put out some good games, even though they are right now a really, really horrible publisher. And for God's sake, one just came out today that I actually want, and I can't get, because for some reason it's not available on UK Steam yet. It's called Blur. It's a powered-up racing game. It's like kart racing, but it's by the guys who made Project Gotham and Metropolis Street Racer, which I really like. But it's got power-ups, but real cars. I really want that game. I would love that game. But for some reason it's not available on UK Steam. I don't know why that is. It's available in the US, but not in the UK, and that is weird. Whatever the case, they do make some good games, and if they combine the two, if it was an active BlizzCon, then I could get behind that to some degree, because at least there's more to do. That's what I recall, honestly, from BlizzCon 2005, and this is what I was even told by BlizzCon 2009. Bear in mind, this should be the busiest BlizzCon of them all, with the most activities, was that by day 2 people were bored stiff. Most of them wandered around the con the first day, then just wandered around Anaheim for the second day. They didn't even bother with the con on the second day. They went to the concert maybe at the end, but a lot of people didn't even do that. They just hung around the courtyard talking to people. You know, if I want to hang around the courtyard talking to people, I'm certainly not going to pay $150 frickin' in order to do it. That is dumb! So very dumb! You can socialise for free. To me, it's like a bit of exploitation of people that are generally socially awkward. Yes, these are the kind... I'm not going to turn around and say every WoW player is the kind of person that has to pay for sex. But no, that's not the case, and we know that. But think about it for a second. Think about this as an analogy. There are some very socially awkward people out there that can't get a date that will pay for sex. This is even worse. This is some very socially awkward people that can't get a friend who are paying to speak to people in a social environment. Is that not terrifying? It is to me. I find that unbelievably terrifying. Now, I'm not saying that this is every person. Indeed, it may even be the minority of people that go to BlizzCon. There's a lot of very nice, very social people that go there. But does it not feel... It smells funny to me. And not in the Cheetos body sweat kind of way. It smells like Blizzard know their audience, and they know that there's a awkward area of their audience that might have quite a bit of money to burn. And you know what? They're going to make a convention to get that money out of them. And they're going to do it by offering a pleasant social experience. But it's not really much of a social experience when you're paying so much in order to do it, and there's so few activities. And when you go to a music festival, you can work out the value of that. Say, Bloodstock. I mean, look at the lineup of that. So let's have a look. Say, I'm going to see you at Bloodstock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bands on the list so far that I actually want to see. Indeed. 13 bands. And it's going to cost me £105. So you do the math there. Now, that's easily less. That's about £7 or £8 a band. At bands like Twisted Sister, you pay £25 to £30 just to see them. And then, of course, you get the camping in there as well. That's a damn social experience. That's actually good value for money. When you look at BlizzCon as value for money, it falls so far short. It doesn't have the activities to justify it being value for money. We're not talking about quality time here that you can invest in doing something really cool. No, that's not what you get to do. All you get to do is watch some panels, play a couple of Blizzard games that are in an incomplete state, and talk to people. And that is not worth $150. It's not even a big LAN party. We're not even talking about DreamHack here. There is no mass gaming. We're talking about a limited amount of time mucking about with some incomplete games. It's not a case of you being to sit down for 2 days with your computer or renting a computer or whatever to play a bunch of games with people. You don't get the opportunity to do that. It's so limited. I mean, you're lucky if you even get a game of StarCraft before you send right to the back of the line again. As I say, it smells like a little bit of exploitation to me, and when it was first brought into play in 2005, I had concerns that they wouldn't have enough to show. It's like, what are they going to do? Honestly, what are they going to do? Well, the answer was they're not going to do anything. They're going to rely on you to make your own fun there. If I want to make my own fun, I'm not going to pay for it. It's as simple as that. It's nonsense. It really is. Now, I understand why people want to go, and if you guys are already planning your trips and everything, well, good for you. If you enjoy yourself there, that's fine. But just consider, for a moment, there are probably better places to go, and indeed, I know Octel and Hordak are actually organising a big trip over to Vegas at the same time as that, and funnily enough, it's probably going to cost you less money. So you might want to go and have a look at that. VGWproductions.com. Click on their forum. There's a Vegas thread. And there are so many other great conventions and indeed gaming expos like PAX available to go and have a look at that are just so much better. So why don't you diversify out a little bit and actually consider doing that? It's an experience, don't get me wrong. But if you've already been once, I think you know exactly what's in store, and I have no interest in going again. My name is Total Biscuit. You're listening to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com. We'll be right back after the break to answer some emails, assuming we've got any. 2 weeks off the air with no working iTunes is bad for the mail pack. There's really no doubt about that, so I'm sure you guys will fill it up over the next few days. Okay, let's play some 1 minute silence because it's 1 minute silence. I don't need an excuse for that. This is called Food for the Brain. It may contain strong language. Enjoy.